Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about a topic that has been questioned for a long time. How old is Ash Ketchum? Well, I have something very different to say than everybody else. Some people say he's in a coma, some people say he's brought eternal happiness by Po-Oh, and that eternal happiness is adventuring and catching all these Pokemon with different trainers and continuing his journey. But that might be true, but I think there's something very wrong going on here. Alright, first we need to talk about who is Delia. So, yeah, obviously we're going to talk about Delia Ketchum, but there is another Delia character that we need to talk about when we're talking about Delia Ketchum in this theory, because she also plays a pretty clear and also pretty big role in this theory. Alright, so first, we know Delia Ketchum as this sweet, nice mother to Ash Ketchum and all of his friends, right? She would never do anything evil, obviously, but we do see her sometimes work out, do kind of scary stuff, like work out. That's not even really scary, and then she also does something kind of scary where she wears this mask to scare Ash, but that's really all we see when it comes to Delia being evil. There's no other kind of series or anything we see her when we see her do anything evil. It's just she's just the loving and caring mom of Ash Ketchum, right? But there is something that will really blow your mind if you think about it. Okay, hear me out. Aliens do exist in Pokemon, right? There's alien Pokemon that exist in the Pokemon universe, so it's not too far-fetched to say that there's more aliens out there. And I have an idea about that, and you'll see in a second. Alright, so we know there's alien Pokemon like the Deoxys, but we also have alien Pokemon like, Ultra Beasts and etc. But yeah, there is just a whole lot of aliens, but we don't really get to see them a lot. But I have a theory. Do you remember my theories about Lilo and Stitch? Well, now they're coming back for more. Okay, disclaimer. Fast forward to this part of the video on the screen to skip the explanation of the previous theories. Alright, I'm sorry. Okay, go back to the video. Alright, so if you watch my first theory that I ever did on Lilo and Stitch, you know that Hamsterville is threatening the shelter lady because the shelter lady is scared of Hamsterville. So she's basically, in the first movie, trying to let the dogs eat Stitch, even though she thinks that it's a dead, dog. That's why Stitch was in the shelter in the first movie. And then in the anime, we see all this evidence, we see that he's put in the jail cell, but in Stitch and I, we know that the Djibouti are also doing disguising themselves as humans. And also before the anime and Stitch and I, in the series, Hamsterville was able to disguise himself as a human. And even after the first movie, in the series, we see the shelter lady is still getting these aliens and then selling them to people at the dog shelter, even though they're not dogs. And we know that she knows that it's not a dog now because obviously she says that Skip is not a dog. So yeah, that's what we know from the first theory that I made. And then the second theory, you would know. In that second theory, we explained how Lilo and Stitch and Phineas and Ferb take place in the same universe because we hear Doofenshmirtz's music in the episode where Perry tries to stop all Doofenshmirtz clothes from dancing and everybody from dancing with Doofenshmirtz's new illuminator that makes people dance because it affects their clothes. But in that episode, we have Perry and Doofenshmirtz dancing because of the rain. But while they're dancing, the Aloha Oi song from the end of Lilo and Stitch plays. So we know that that became famous because the Ring Councilwoman ended up making Lilo, Stitch, Reuben, Gantu, and obviously Leroy, because he's the one that was evil in the first place that they stopped. So she made all of them famous, but they didn't want to be famous, but she did it anyway. And basically, their song was put everywhere. And yeah, they became famous after that. There's also the evidence that that the aliens from Phineas and Ferb do exist. And there's the plot line from the Queen of Mars episode with Candace, where she thought that everybody was ignoring her, so she went to she found a portal to Mars and she went in there when obviously Baljeet was trying to do something for his project for science. But yeah, she ended up in Mars, and then Phineas and Ferb had to go there to save her, but she had already become the Queen of Mars by the aliens. But Phineas and Ferb ended up understanding the aliens and basically trying to convince them that Candace belongs on Earth. And after that, they tried to escape, but the aliens chased them down and tried to keep Candace on Mars, but they ended up leaving. But anyway, Doofenshmirtz and this volcano, not really a real volcano, but like a science experiment volcano or a science project volcano, gets sucked up into Mars. And basically what happens is Doofenshmirtz thinks he's going to be the king of Mars, but the aliens just grant the volcano to be the king of Mars. And Doofenshmirtz just leaves because obviously we know in the next episode he's back on Earth. And basically that's just what happened there. But basically in the future, in Candace Against the Universe, we know in that movie that the aliens are more advanced now, and they actually have racism there because obviously they're imprisoning aliens that have not done anything wrong. They think these aliens are just too poor to live and stuff like that. But Candace, Phineas and Ferb, Baljeet, Isabella, Doofenshmirtz, Perry, and the rest of the gang help them out, basically stop them from enslaving these other aliens that have not done anything wrong. And at the end of the movie, Candace ends up saving everyone. And basically, the aliens just go back to their normal planet. And obviously, they're way more civilized now, so that's why I said that at that time, when the aliens left, they became more of a civilization. And by the time of Lilo and Stitch, the first movie, they had basically just like had been more advanced, and obviously Jumbo and Stitch were on trial by the first movie, and they were on literal floating platforms. So we know that they have more advanced technology than the human species. And basically, yeah, that happens. And we know that Lilo and Stitch takes place in Phineas and Ferb's universe because of this other piece of evidence that we have, where the ice cream guy is actually in Phineas and Ferb, from like the ice cream guy from Lilo and Stitch is in Phineas and Ferb. And we know this because he showed up in the episode where Candace was trying to relax when they were in Hawaii, but the ice cream guy didn't see her, and so he just sat down on her, and so she had to get back from under her. I mean, not under her, but under him, and leave. And that's what happened there. So that's how we know Ice Cream Guy exists in Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, so that's that theory. That is that whole theory for you, just to be explained. Alright, now that we're done with the explanation, we can get on to the next part of the theory. And that next part of the theory is, who is Lady Delia? Alright, let's get into it. Alright, well, you might be saying, didn't we already talk about Delia? Well, my friend, you might not have watched the Stitch anime if you said that. And you might not have heard about it at all. Well, if you haven't heard about it or watched it at all, this is an anime about, obviously, Stitch and how he meets this new girl named Yuna on a fictional island of Izioi Island. on Okinawa in Japan. And basically, obviously, they become friends, and they basically befriend the spiritual stone too, which is the stone that grants wishes, good wishes, and if someone completes 43 good deeds, which Stitch does, and he gives up the offer of becoming ruler of the universe to stay with his friend Yuna, his new friend Yuna. And basically, they also befriend, spirits like yokai and stuff like that. And Stitch does at some point become ruler of the universe, but it's not officially ruler of the universe. It's just the spiritual stone power up that he's given, like just some of his power. And he's able to defeat Hamsterville in the same type of form. But yeah, but we need to dive way deeper into this. So in season 3 of Stitch the Anime, there is a character that is introduced named Lady Delia, which is the nemesis of Jumba Jukiba, Stitch's creator at this point. Basically, this Lady Delia character is trying to steal a power cell from Stitch, and she already has a stronger one because she stole it from Jumba years ago. And that's what we learned in the episode Stitch's birthday, where they go to the past and meet past Jumba and meet past everyone. They meet past past Hamsterville and also past Delia. And basically they find out that Hamsterville and Delia were trying to basically just trying to steal Jumba's experiments without giving the money back. So yeah, that's what we learned about Delia in that episode. And after that episode, we learned that she was trying to make this new experiment that is stronger than Stitch, made to be stronger than Stitch, and she's trying to get Hamsterville to try to basically defeat Stitch before Dark End, which is the new experiment she's making, so they can get it done quick, to get Stitch killed quick. But that doesn't work, and Delia punishes Hamsterville a lot. Like, she literally spanks him with this big robot hand. She feeds him to other alien species, like this alien cat. There's just a lot of crazy things she's done to Hamsterville, and that's why in the first episode she's introduced, basically we know that Freakley says that she is basically the most dangerous alien criminal in the entire galaxy, and that's why we know her as the evil alien she is. But you might ask, why do you bring Lady Delia up? I mean, you might say, well, I know that Delia and Lady Delia's names are the same, but what's so important about Lady Delia in this theory? Well, if you think about it, Ash's mom is very nice. Delia Ketchum is very nice, to the point where it's not even funny. She is nice to him all the time, every day, every moment, every single second, to everybody she meets. There is no time where Delia, as a character, would do something mean or rude to anyone. There can't be a person out there that's just like that. I mean, it's almost like she's too good to be true. Wait, she probably is too good to be true. And that is where Lady Delia comes in. So, Lady Delia has done some awful things. Obviously, the Hamsterville, like I said, with the examples of spanking him. Literally, she also launched a big old tiki necklace, giant-sized tiki necklace on him and squished him. Like I said, she fed him to an alien cat and tons of other stuff. So, yeah, she is just the definition of evil. And Delia Ketchum is the opposite. So, what I'm getting at here is, what if Delia Delia Ketchum is Lady Delia. Well, this actually kind of sounded stupid at first to me also, but just think about it. Let me explain. Just think about it. If you ever saw Delia in Pokémon, you know that she would never do anything evil or anything rude. And Lady Delia from Lilo and Stitch is the opposite. She would do anything rude, and she would never do anything nice to anyone. And that's what we know about Lady Delia. And so put 2 and 2 together, and there we go. Delia Ketchum is Lady Delia because Lady Delia went undercover as the opposite of herself to disguise as someone who never existed in the first place, and had a kid named Ash Ketchum. And I can figure out who the dad is too, because people who already theorize who the dad is have given me some clues, which I have been led to believe that Silver from the series that doesn't involve Ash is Ash's father. Also, it's from the episode that follows Richie when he meets Silver. So yeah, Silver is Ash's father because of this scene. I'll show that in a second. There we go.
You're named Ash.
Ash?
And my reasoning for why he says this is obviously Delia is not a good person. We've seen what she's done to Hamsterville and others also. We know that she has never even done a good thing in her life. So why would she be good to a person she's in love with? And that is the end of the theory. He left because he did not want to deal with the abuse anymore. He wanted to be a Pokemon master, but he didn't want to be in that house with that abusive lady anymore, and so he left to be by himself. And that is the end of the theory. I just hope Ash does not experience that with his mom. But yeah. But anyways, that's just the theory. So, goodbye.